It certainly looks promising. The riffles over there.
Yeah.
So welcome and thank you for joining us on this week's episode. As I mentioned at Thursday, we were off on holiday to Yorkshire. Primary goal is for Bempton.
Absolutely,
For
puffins
the
and gannets.
puffins. But we couldn't get into the cottage yesterday until about 3 o'clock, and we arrived around about 11. We want to try and beat the traffic. So we thought we'll have a little explore. Now, I went onto the Bird Guides app. Last year I videoed the honey buzzards, and I noticed that there was a venue in Yorkshire. And when we got here, I had a quick look. It's 15 minutes up the road.
Very
Wickham,
close.
Wickham Forest,
Yes.
Raptor viewpoint. So spent half an hour up there. Weather was not quite ideal, was it?
A little showery, bit windy.
But we've managed to see 2 or 3 honey buzzards right off into the distance, little dots. So whether we go up there again and maybe have another go at that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But from there to the cottage, the road drives along the Derwent, the river here. And so I've just thought that dippers, second or third sort of stopping point, walked up and down for a couple of hundred yards, managed to see a dipper. And it looked as if it went up into a nest.
Yeah.
So we thought, right, give that a go, come back today. We've been here for, about an hour?
I would say about an hour,
Yeah, but nothing at the moment, nothing from the nest. But we'll have a little wander up and down the river just to see what comes. Myself and Denise found these dippers to be captivating birds, renowned for thriving in the turbulent waters of mountain streams and rivers, known for their remarkable swimming abilities and distinctive behaviours, diving fearlessly into fast-flowing streams to hunt for aquatic insects and larvae. You can certainly see where their name comes from, with this characteristic bobbing behaviour. And occasionally you can see that white, unique membrane, a third eyelid if you like, that protects their eyes while submerged. So we managed to see it a few times. The disappointing thing for me anyway is the banks are quite steep. There are odd places where the trout anglers, little ladders and the like, to be able to get down to sort of water level. Going to be pretty horrid this afternoon, lots and lots of rain, so we're going to be back to the cottage. Get back to the cottage. So it's not a Bempton day today, that looks like tomorrow. It's as if the rain's coming in about midday. So breakfast, come back and see what comes. So we've returned after breakfast, a little bit later in the day, it's about midday, and I found a spot. I'm not so sure whether I should be doing this at my age, but I've got right down as close as I dare to the river's edge. Sort of thing where you could do with your waders really, but I think at my age at 62 it's probably gone beyond those days. But at least from this view I can see them flying down the river and also going to there's 2 to 3 perches that they're landing on. I've seen them a couple of times dropping out of the nest, but I haven't been able to film it as yet, nor going into the nest. Denise has managed to photograph both birds together once or twice, but she's really struggling with the eye, so it's so dark here. I thought maybe with a bit of more light midday it's not penetrating the canopy here, so she's using extremely high ISO just to get a reasonable shutter speed. So it'll be interesting to see if we can manage to clean those up. But yeah, keep going. There's some grey wagtails and yellow wagtails up and down entertaining. It's quite interesting. They're just sat perched for quite long periods. Let's see what comes. Dippers typically, as we see here, build their nests close to water, often behind waterfalls or under bridges, with the entrance facing the water. The female lays 4 to 5 eggs, which she incubates in about 2 weeks. Both parents share the responsibility of feeding the chicks, which fled their nest after approximately 3 weeks, at which point they drop down into the river below. About 2 years ago, I met another very experienced videographer, Mick Jenner, and he spent about 3 years studying these birds, and it took him that long to finally capture the shot of the young dropping into the river. It's an excellent film, and I'll see if I can put a link in the description below. I think we've discovered the nest here at a point which, well, it gives you the impression that the male here is almost guarding the nest. So one must assume that the female is either laying eggs or incubating the eggs. The dipper sits on this favourite rock here for quite large periods of time, and this behaviour, which seems quite strange, clearing debris from around his favourite rock, allowing the current to take it away downstream. But this tidiness, well, that's quite essential. When the young hatch and the eggshells and sac are discarded from the nest, any predators finding this waste could discover the location of the nest. Well, I think that's been a really pleasing couple of sessions. Managed to get down because it's so close a few more times, but I think getting low like that by the river's surface was certainly some of the best shots. Real challenge with the photography.
Yes, definitely.
But hopefully rescued a few shots there anyway. But this has been a little side project that, well, we sort of not quite on our radar, but was, so it really paid off. So fingers crossed that we get some good stuff at Bempton Cliffs. But for this episode anyway, job done. Yeah, so hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a big thumbs up, like and subscribe, and as always, great for you to join us in the next one.